Today, I'm going to talk to you about how the hands work in the backswing, so hand path and the change of direction with hand path, and also the elbow and how the shaft works. So this seems like a lot of things, but they're very much interrelated. And I'm going to show you also pictures from the 8-Step Swing book. Now, the 8-Step Swing book was published in 1994. So I've been teaching this for a long time, and I see some other people now using these ideas, or some people not really using them correctly. So let's go through this. On the backswing, I wrote where the hands make a disc shape on the backswing. Now, what does that mean? That means as my golf club goes away and I start my takeaway, as the hands start to elevate and take the club up, the hands actually make a little disc shape as they go up. In other words, they don't go straight up in the backswing. And that can cause a lot of confusion because a lot of people do try to take it straight up and straight down, which can be a good teaching idea, but it really doesn't happen in very many players. Now, I want to make this point. There are a few players that take the club out with their hands and arms. And Rory McIlroy is one that did this, and Trevino that took the club out on the backswing, but it's quite unusual. And then they move it back over this way, so it's kind of a out and around movement and then down. But for most players, not all, but for most players, when the hands go up, they start slightly outward. Some players a lot outward. So this is a little bit of a confusing idea. And that's because as I turn away and get up to the top of the backswing, and when I change direction, my hands don't start the downswing. I start my movement with the lower body, and then the shoulders come, and that causes my hands from this down the target line to look like they go a little bit out. But they're just responding to the rotation of the hips and the shoulders in the downswing. So if we simplify this, just looking at my right hand, as my hand goes up and then it starts down. So some people confuse this with going over the top, and I'm going to show you why this is not going over the top. Because the golf shaft works similar to a baseball bat in that as it starts down, it shallows or flattens on the downswing. And you're going to see that in the 8-Step Swing book. So then, as I go up to the top and I start down, my hands move out and the club head moves away from my hands or away from the target line. So that's a very interesting thing. But if you think of it with baseball, a baseball bat, you would see that the bat falls a little bit behind, or in baseball, it flattens all the way down and goes across this way to hit a baseball. So that's really shallowing. In golf, there's usually just a slight shallowing. Some players have quite a bit of shallowing in the downswing. All right, so let's back up a little bit to the elbow. When I get up to the top, the elbow swings out and the club swings away. Again, it's a response movement. I go up to the top, I start down, my elbow moves in. My right hand, for a right-hander, moves back. Well, we could say that it flattens, or my palm starts to push up a little bit. If we related it to the left wrist, my left wrist would go into flexion or bowing. And that's where we want to be when we hit the golf ball, into a very strong, powerful position. Of course, we don't want to hit the ball this way. So again, when people try to do the wrong thing, they go up and they try to bring their elbows straight down, or they bring their hands straight down, then the shaft will respond by getting steep. So when you have the wrong idea in your brain, you can really get into trouble. And teachers can really get into trouble when they really don't understand what's going on with the mechanics of how the arms and the hands work in the swing. They work in opposition to the shaft. The elbow swings out. The hands move outward. The shaft responds by moving away and shallowing. So this is a quite interesting idea, let's say, and there's been a lot of writing and a lot of things on social media about how the shaft shallows and how it moves down, but they forgot to take into consideration how the elbow works, how the hands work in the downswing. So to me, that's been a very interesting research project that I did way back. That's 30 years ago, but the research happened even 10 years before that. And that came from studying videotape and really looking carefully at what the best players in the world did and they now do to this day. So I hope this helps you understand how you work a golf club, how you change direction, how you don't have to try and take your arms up on your backswing. The natural movement is the hands follow the rotation of the hips and shoulders in the backswing. The club works in and up on the backswing. It changes direction this way when you start down. I showed you how to do it. Hope it helps you.